I just believe that it's either you die or you try. And that was my mindset. And I would just go every day and kept trying every day. And 6 months after I started boxing, we had already entered the gloves, and I had my first fight 6 months later, and I lost by knockout. And it was a quick fight too. Like it was probably like 40 seconds, something crazy like that. And the guy, he was more experienced and he hit me with a good shot and I was off balance. But I also felt like the referee could have usually, if you get hurt a bit, the referee gives you a standing eight count, which gives you an opportunity to gather yourself and then assess you and see if you can continue.
Hi, Ngo. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Mark, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you for coming to Peak Performance Perspective, where we help entrepreneurs master health, wealth, and relationships. Now, as a two-time Golden Glove boxing champion and a trainer to celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, Brooke Shields, Bill Clinton, what does peak performance mean to you?
What peak performance means to me is being able to fire on all cylinders, being able to be strong mentally, physically, to get all of your goals, to achieve your goals. And that's a mental and physical endeavor. Okay. So it's not just, I'm going to be successful financially, or I'm going to be physically fit, or I'm going to be a good dad, or it's about being able to do it all and being able to build up the bandwidth to be able to do it all. And that comes from being able to develop, because it's all muscle, being able to develop your mental muscle to be able to handle all the physical demands that you need. And that the mind will not help you overcome all the challenges you may have. So it's being able to fire and be successful, being able to pull on your mind and your body to help you drive forward to achieve all of your goals.
You say a lot that mind is the most important muscle. Can you break that down for us?
Well, I believe that the mind is the most important muscle that we have to develop because I believe the body is dumb, right? So it's the something has to drive the body to achieve certain milestones. For example, if you're running a 100-meter dash, right? The gun goes off, you move, and you practice so hard by yourself or with your teammates. Now it's race day. You're lined up against people you don't know. You don't know how fast they run or what they can do. The gun goes off, you take off, and you're running as you did in practice. Now you look over out of your peripheral vision and you see the guy to your left inching up on you, creeping up on you. Look to your right. The guy on your right is inching up and slightly beating you. Something has to kick in. If you want to win, something has to kick in to override what your body is feeling. Like your body might be like, we're tired. We never run this fast, so it wants to shut down. Something has to kick in to put your body in overdrive for you to beat these guys next to you. And that thing that kicks in is your mind. So you have to train your mind to be stronger than your body because your body has limits. Your mind has no limits, right? So when you click in and understand that the mind is the driver, then you're limitless, you're boundless. So if your mind is strong, you'll be able to get up on days that you're tired and you didn't get enough sleep and your body wants to lay in bed. Your mind has to kick in and say, I got to get up. I got to go to work. I got to go to this meeting. I got to do what I need to do to make sure that my family is taken care of, to make sure that my future, my legacy is secure. Something has to kick in. And that's your mind that does that.
So how do you go about personally training your mind every day?
How I train my mind is self talk every single day, all through the day. What do I want? Okay. Now I want to achieve, I want to make, for example, somebody wants to make six figures, right? And they're currently making maybe 30,000, 40,000, and they know that getting working a few extra hours is what's going to get them to six figures. Working a few extra hours a day, a few extra hours a week, month builds up, right? So if you put yourself, you know what the formula is, you know what you need to do to get to the next level. Now you have to start talking to yourself. And it's almost like a form of hypnosis, right? You have to talk to yourself throughout the day. In the beginning, you have to teach yourself. We're going to get up. Okay. So let's say you need to get up at 4 in the morning tomorrow. You start the day before. You're talking to yourself. All right, we're going to get up at 4 a.m. We're going to get up at 4 a.m. because we need to achieve this. Now, you talk yourself through all of it. We're going to be tired. And make it us, as in like you and your body together. We're going to be tired. We're not going to die from it. But if we persevere through this time, we're going to get to our goal, which is going to make us happy. And that happiness is going to, in turn, drive us to be even more successful. So you just have to keep on talking to yourself. So you start from the day before, even before you go to bed. You prep your mind. This is what's going to happen. We're going to push through this. No, it's going to suck. Yes, it's going to suck, but you have to push through. And then when the alarm goes off, the self-talk continues. The alarm goes off, your body, we're not moving, we're staying right here. It kicks back in again. We got to get up. We got to get up. And then you get up. And then you got to brush your teeth. You got to take a shower. You got to get dressed. So you just got to keep talking to yourself. And then that practice of continuing to do that is one way to do it. Now, that's one day. You have to, another way to do it is to do challenging things every single day. So let's say running a mile is very difficult for you. Let's not even say running a mile. Let's say doing 10 push-ups is challenging. Every day, you make yourself do 10 push-ups. You do this for about 30 days. Every day, you talk to yourself, you got to do these push-ups because it's going to make our core stronger, it's going to make us stronger, and it will make us achieve this goal that we're going after. So you can start with something small, right? And then you do that thing, that challenging thing every day, and you keep talking to yourself and get in the habit of talking to yourself every single day for that 30 days. Some people do the ice bath because it's hard. They say do that every day, or get in the sauna every day. Do something challenging every single day to build the reps, like the conditioning that you would need to get to where you want to. Now make it a habit of self-talk. And after a while, you're just going to just tell yourself, we're going to do this. And it clicks right in because you've done the work over and over again. That's how I do it.
You started your boxing career at 31 when most athletes are almost retiring.
Yeah.
How did you overcome self-doubt and also doubt from others who are looking at you start the sport at such a older age?
Well, I started boxing at 31 because it was just I was doing it as cardio. I wasn't trying to be a boxer. I wasn't trying to be a fighter. I just wanted something different to do for cardio besides running, biking, or the elliptical machine. But I just continued to do it and I really fell in love with it. I, as a child, did not get the opportunity that most people did to play sports. I was very sick as a child till I was about the age of 13. I had all kinds of respiratory problems that didn't allow me to have the conditioning to play sports. And also, both of my parents were teachers. And if you know anything about African parents, school, education, that's the savior. If you want some exercise, you want to play sports, go run around the house a couple of times and come back and finish your homework. And that was it. So I just wasn't connected to my athleticism at a young age, but I knew that I was athletic, but I just didn't have the outlet. So life went on, and I knew that I really wanted to play sports at a high level. I knew that I could play at a high level, but I just didn't have the resource. So I didn't think that I could learn how to play a team sport like basketball. Got to know your position plus your teammates' position, football, your position, and other teammates' soccer. So when I started getting better at boxing, and people just kept saying, people in the boxing world were like, "Hey, listen, like you might want to, you look really good. You might want to try to do a fight or sparring." And at the time, I had a successful modeling career, so I didn't want to do that. That was not my intention. But as I kept hearing these things from people, I said, hey, this might be my opportunity to live my dream, my childhood dream of playing sports. And then when I started really thinking about it and then talking about it, people were started saying to me, like, you're 31 years, like, you're going to be going against people and kids that have been fighting. First of all, they're half your age and they started boxing when they were like 6, 7, 8 years old. How are you going to possibly beat these guys? They're younger, stronger, more experienced than you are. But my focus in life is living whatever dream that I have to try. I'm going to give it my all to see what it is, to experience that dream, to make that dream a reality. So for me, boxing, AKA playing sports at a high level, was life or death for me. I wanted it so badly that I was ready to do anything. I would do anything. I'd rather die than not experience that thing that every time I'm watching college athletes, or I'm watching the NBA or any sport at a high level, something would always tug at my heart. And I feel like, wow, if I had the opportunity and given the space to do this, I believe that I would have been able to get on that stage and play at that high level. So when I saw this guy that was boxing, that was hitting the bag at this gym here in the city, and I was like, wow, I want to hit the bag like this guy. So I waited till he was done, and I went up and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he said, I'm training for the Golden Gloves. And I was just like, wow. I didn't know what the Golden Gloves were at that time, but it sounded really cool. And I was like, I want to do the Golden Gloves. And he must have looked at me like, who the hell is this guy? So he's okay. So I waited for him. He changed. And then he took me to his boxing gym, introduced me to his trainer, and he became my trainer, and that was it. Like I just was there every day. I was terrified, excited, confused half the time. Like everybody laughed at me. When I say everybody laughed at me, my friends laughed at me when they heard that I wanted to do the Golden Glove because it's crazy when you think about it. It's crazy. Like you're gonna start at 31 and you're gonna do the Golden Gloves. And then other boxers, when I was in the boxing gym training, they would laugh. They were laughing at me. Oh, he's old. He has too much muscle. He's gonna be slow. What is he gonna do? And they were telling my trainer, why are you wasting your time with this guy? He's not gonna go anywhere. But I just kept showing up every day. Show up and I just do whatever mundane thing that he told me to do because he wanted me to get so bored and quit. But I would just show up and he'd throw a jab and I would stay at that bag and I would throw rounds and rounds and rounds on that bag. Like just literally just this for 6, 7 rounds. Like you feel like your arm is falling off, but I'm just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And that's it. So I just believe that it's either you die or you try. And that was my mindset. And I would just go every day and kept trying every day. And 6 months after I started boxing, we had already entered the gloves and I had my first fight 6 months later and I lost by knockout. And it was a quick fight too. Like it was probably like 40 seconds, something crazy like that. And the guy, he was more experienced. and he hit me with a good shot, and I was off balance. But I also felt like the referee could have, usually, if you get hurt a bit, the referee gives you a standing 8 count, which gives you an opportunity to gather yourself and then assess you and see if you can continue. He just looked at me and just stopped it. And I was just like, wow, like this is crazy. Like I gave this my all, and the ref didn't even give me a chance. And I was devastated, devastated. So I took all my boxing stuff and just shoved it to the back of the closet. And I'm like, I'm done with boxing. Boxing is bullshit. And I'm just going to focus on my business. That's what I should have been doing anyway. I had just started personal training, and I'm just going to focus on building my business. And that's it. And I did that. And about a year later, my business took off. And there was this nagging feeling like I just don't want my legacy to be that of a loser, that of a guy that did the Golden Gloves, got knocked out, and that was it. That's your legacy? No. So I was thinking about going back now that my business was taking off. And coincidentally, my coach called me and he's like, hey, would you like to come back to the gym? Like, we could just to train. So I was just like, I was just thinking about doing the same thing. Let's do it. So went back to the gym. We started training, and he's listen. Let's not put any labels on this. We're just training. We're not talking about the Golden Gloves. Not talking about any of that. We're just gonna train. So we start training and start working out, and I just used that anger and frustration from what happened in that first fight. And I just poured that into my training. And we would have conversations, and my trainer and I, we would just say, listen, like, we can't, our motto is nobody is going to rob us. Nobody is going to decide, no referee is going to decide what happens in the ring. So my mindset was my 65% is going to beat your 100%. So even if I'm not feeling good or whatever it is, I am going to beat you. So I trained so hard. I created my own training program, out my strength and conditioning program, and then I'll do the boxing training with my trainer. And then in between, I would still practice like every little 15 minutes or 10 minutes that I would have, I would work on specific things. And when the Golden Gloves came, we entered, and we're like, listen, we're grinding everyone into the ground. That's the goal. And my first fight, I won by knockout. Second fight, won by knockout. Third fight, I was there, and I was hitting everybody like, you are going to die today. If you're not willing to kill me, you're going to die. And that was my mindset. The third fight, the guy, he was tough. He was tough. I hit him and hurt him, but he was strong. He kept coming, and I won that fight. And after that, it just kept getting harder and harder, but I kept on winning. And got to the finals, and the finals were at Madison Square Garden. Sold out. All of my friends, all of my coworkers, all the people that laughed at me in the past, they were all there. And I won. It was a good fight. The guy that I fought in the finals, I knew like 3 fights in, I said to him, it's going to be you and me in the finals. And we both laughed, and it came to fruition. And he was a great fighter, but I just wanted it more. And my thing is, you hit me with all of everything you have. You got to hit me with those. You got to hit me with death punches. You got to want to kill me. That's the only way I will lose if I'm dead in that ring. And most people don't want to go to the death place. And that's the difference. Like when I hit someone, I don't want you, I want you to explode. I want you to rethink ever you should have quit once you heard that we were going to be fighting. But now that we're here, you're going to pay for everything leading up to this point. And I just never gave up and just kept pushing. And I won, and it was such a fantastic, beautiful experience to have everybody. My brother came in from London. all of my friends, all of my coworkers there at Madison Square Garden and getting that victory. It's like this is the stage. So this is a dream coming true on steroids. Everybody wants to perform at Madison Square Garden and to not only perform, but a sold out crowd and perform so well. And it was televised also. So people down the road saw it on TV, and people that I hadn't seen in several years saw it on TV. They didn't even know that I was boxing. That's how quickly things happen. Like they love boxing, but they didn't know that I was boxing. So they were watching TV and they were like, is that Ngo? And I was like, yeah, that's me. So it just inspired so many people want to pursue their dreams. And seeing me do that made people feel like, wow, if he can do it, I can do it. If he can do this, which is you can die in there, then I can go out and pursue my dream of being an actor, do my dream of being a model or a singer or opening up my own business. It inspired so many people and it made me feel that, wow, I can dream. It can be the most extravagant, ridiculous dream and work at it and finish it and achieve it. And with that, everything else in life, I felt like I could do. I went back the next year because people were saying, oh, you won the novice division, the Golden Gloves. And I was like, oh, really? And I said, I'm going to win the open division, which is pro level, basically. And I'm going to beat all of your guys. All of those coaches that said, that's cute. I'm going to beat your guy. And I'm going to show you guys that I am the real deal. And saying it out loud, I had to back it up. So I knew that the guys I was going to be fighting were going to be significantly skill wise better than I was. But what I knew that I had over them was like I'm physically stronger, mentally stronger, and I could create and train myself harder than anybody else could.
It's one thing to be able to use that feeling of failure to drive yourself in a moment or for a day, because we all get motivated. Then almost what happens is the realities of life come in, the distractions, the family, the friends. How do you stay on track all the time despite all of the distractions?
I stay on track by knowing that I have to look at myself in the mirror. Like I don't lie to myself. At the end of the day, I'm the person that I am holding like the most accountable to. If I can't look at myself in the mirror, what am I doing? If I can't look at myself in the mirror because I chickened out, there were times when I'm walking to the ring and I'm so scared. And I say to myself, if I turn around and run away, no one will care. No one will even remember this, but I will.
Where do you think that comes from? Is that your upbringing, from the way your parents brought you up? What is the source of that? I need to see myself in the mirror and be accountable to myself. Because it's so easy to hide. It's so easy to make excuses.
Yeah, it is. It's probably how I was raised. My dad would always say things like, the world is full of excuses, but nobody's listening. Like he would, when we come back with a bad grade or not do the things that we were supposed to do, and you say, I didn't do it because this and this happened. He did not have, there was no room for excuses. And you know that you're making excuses. And I know that I'm making excuses. So I can't live with myself. I just can't. And maybe it's my upbringing. Maybe it's going through all of the things that I went through in my life to being sick and all of that. And finally getting to where, I don't know, spending a lot of time with yourself. Like you just have all these dreams and hopes and you just want to be someone. You just want to be seen. You just want to achieve things and not be seen as a loser or that person that nobody even notices. And I'm not like I can't put a finger on and say this is what it is, but it's interesting. It wasn't until I became an adult that I became that way. When I was younger, My dad would always say, you start things and you never finish. Like I would open up a radio because I'm like, oh, I want to see how, I want to fix it. I want to see how it works. I would open it up and then not even put it back together. Like they would have to take it to an electronics shop to get it fixed, to get someone to come and put it back together and fix it. And that was me. I would try this and try that and just all over the place. And it would always hurt my feelings when my dad would say, so you're starting something else. So what else are you doing now? You got to start one thing and finish it. And I think it was just did not want to be that guy anymore that just starts things and doesn't finish. And I think, and that is what I needed to prove. It's so crazy talking about it now because I never really thought about this. But I think that because we're always subconsciously trying to prove our parents wrong, or we're always subconsciously trying to gain their love and respect, that we do the things that we do, you know? I just wanted so badly to do something significant and have it matter. And doing the Golden Gloves, I had to do this every day for so long. And then it became who I was. I just could not go back to being the guy who starts things and doesn't finish.
You have a program called 28 Days Greater, which is one of the world-class programs that you have in helping people transform their bodies. What is the number one mistake people make when they're trying to transform their body?
The number one mistake people make when they're trying to transform their body is thinking that it's a physical transformation. Anybody can do something and get results, got quick results. Diet, starve yourself, get quick results. Do this workout, get quick results. But life is long. So you want results and you want sustained habits that last a long time. And the only way to achieve that is for there to be a mental transformation. There has to be a mental transformation. It cannot only be physical or else it won't last. And that's the key to my transformation. It's mental and physical. And that's why, number one, it works. And number two, it lasts. And it's only 28 days. And that's how long it takes to build a habit. And it goes by like that.
It's one thing to be able to do something yourself. It's another thing to be able to help somebody else do it. So how do you help your clients achieve this mental transformation so that it's a habit for life when they have years of bad habit piling on until they got there?
For me, I love fitness. I love the gym. I love working out. And it's given me my life. It's given me freedom. It's given me success. It's given me wealth. It's financial freedom. And it's given me so much that I just want people to feel that. They may not love it as much as I do, but if they love it just a little bit, their lives will be changed forever. So I truly care, and I want my clients to win. And I get so excited every time I get a new client because it's a new opportunity to help someone. It's a new opportunity to change someone's life and give them life, make them healthier, extend their lives. And like because of this passion that I have and this excitement that I have, like I text them, I check in, call, like I text them before the session, like, hey, just want to remind you. I almost want to, sometimes I would make wake up calls for people to make sure, hey, listen, come to the gym. I don't want you to miss the session. And a lot of times I go, wow, thank you so much for calling. My alarm didn't go off. And because I had because I think about them all day and I think about what can I do? How can I help this person win? If I know that it's hard for them in the morning, I send a text the night before, call them like, hey, just want to give you a wake up call, let the phone ring a couple of times and hang up, and just whatever it takes to get them to the gym. And then if they're running late, like some trainers are like, you're late, you're disrespecting my time. And I'm like, people are so busy. Like in New York City, life is so hard. People are trying to do a billion different things. People are tired. So I have workouts for whenever you show up. I said, they're like, you're just not going to come at all. I'm like, listen, just come to the gym. I have a workout if you show up on time for 1 hour. I have 45-minute workouts. I have 30-minute workouts. I have 20-minute workouts. I even have 10-minute workouts that you will feel. Because for me, it's about getting the reps in, building that habit of just showing up. So just knowing that I've got your back. Like I'm not gonna let you down. I'm not gonna let you fail. I rarely ever cancel. Like I have clients that I've trained for years and I've never canceled on them one time. So it's that love and passion and dedication to my clients that makes them now say, wow, if he cares this much about me and my goals, who am I? Why? Like, how can I let him down? Why? How can I live with myself, even if I'm not around? They're like, I know, like you're in my head now. If they're about to eat something bad, they're like, go approve of this. Will Ngo be happy that I'm doing this? And then that helps them make better decisions. But it's just the love and the dedication and passion that I bring to them that makes them feel like, wow, let me make a better choice.
Yeah. What's one myth about fitness or dieting that drives you crazy?
There's so many. It's not a myth, but it's like a fad now. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, people just do things and don't understand what they're doing. Intermittent fasting was designed for people who are not able to control their meals, their portions when they eat. So they overeat every meal. So intermittent fasting basically gives you a window where you can only eat so much. But not everybody is intermittent fasting. Just people just following fads and thought processes without understanding what they're doing. The other one is supplements. People feel they have to take this supplement, that supplement. I'm like, you don't even know your body. Like, it's called a supplement. It's not the primary thing, it's a supplement. People don't understand. Go get a blood test so that you know what your body is lacking. And then you supplement that. You don't just take supplements because Mr. A or B or Mrs. A or B or C is taking these supplements. Like, why are you taking it? Does your body need these supplements? And do these supplements work for you? Everybody's different. No two people are the same. So why are you taking a supplement that somebody else is taking because they're taking? Like we have to think about what we're doing. We have to understand our bodies and do things based on what our bodies need. Be it what are you eating? What kind of foods are you eating? When are you eating them? How does your body respond to this food or that food? I used to eat nuts all the time, but it started upsetting my stomach. So I could have, because somebody, oh, eat tons of nuts. I could have said, I'm going to eat tons of nuts, but no, it bothers my stomach. So I had to cut it out. So you have to do what works for you, not anybody else. So little things like that. The other thing is sleep. Not everybody needs 8 hours of sleep. For 10 years, I averaged 4 hours of sleep, maybe four and a half, for 10 years. Once my wife got pregnant, I just was like, I got to provide for her. I got to provide for my son that's coming. I got to provide for my family. I got to make sure he gets to college. I was just like, I got to work. I got to grind. I got to work more. So I started taking clients super early and super late. Like I would train clients from 5 a.m. in the morning. The first client would be at 5 a.m. and I would go throughout the day till 9 p.m. There were days that I would train 13 clients a day, 14, 15 clients a day. We're not all built the same. There are people that need eight, there are people that need five, and function perfectly well. Like fitness is not cookie cutter. Not everybody fits in the same box. Everybody's different. And we have to realize that when it comes to everything in fitness, that's the biggest myth. This person does this, I'm going to do that. No, it works for them. It may not work for you. Figure out what works for you. It's going to take some time to figure out, but you have to, that's where the dedication, the passion, and the love and care comes in.
A lot of people, because of not eating right or not having enough activity, their metabolism slows down. So, how can someone speed up their slow metabolism naturally?
Okay. That's another one, metabolism. Most people don't even know what metabolism is. A lot of people think that metabolism is some engine that's inside your body that revs up and slows down based on when you wake up or when you go to bed or how old you are or how young you are. It has nothing to do with any of that. Your metabolism is how much energy you exert throughout the day. So when people say, "Oh, we're getting older, my metabolism is slowing down," I'm like, "No, your metabolism is not slowing down. You're slowing down." I find that in my experience, as we get more successful, people don't want to move as much. You spent all these hours working, building this wealth. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to sip this wine and I'm going to smoke this cigar and I'm going to eat rich food because I've earned it. None of that is free. Those calories that you're taking in from that rich food is not free. Those calories from the wine is not free. All that sitting that you're doing is not free. It comes at a cost. All of it comes at a cost. So you're slowing down, consuming more calories. Of course, our bodies are going to gain weight. That's just math. The more active you are, the faster your metabolism. The more active you are, the more calories you burn throughout the day. A lot of times we in our 20s we're hustling, we're running here, there, whatever. So active, you might eat, you might not eat, whatever, but you're hustling. But now you get older, you're not hustling because you've reached those goals, you've achieved those goals, and you start to slow down, but you're eating the same amount of food. And you also now add on, more wine or dessert wine or sweeter food, richer food, because of course you've earned it. And then people say my metabolism is slowing down. No, people are slowing down. We slow down as we get older because we don't want to or can't move as much as we did when we were younger. That's it. That's the only difference. You want to rev up your metabolism? Get up and walk. Get up and go exercise. I'm 50. People look at me and they think I'm a lot younger than I am, but I look the way because I make a conscious effort to stay as active as I was in my 20s. And I even find more ways to be more active than I was in my 20s, just in case. I want to have a store. I want to have a backup energy. So that's how I see metabolism. You want to rev it up, move.
So, what does the exercise and diet routine look for a two-time Golden Glove champion?
Hey, I work out multiple times a day. For example, like I rarely sit down. So if I'm doing a virtual session, I would do it on an elliptical machine and I just set at the highest level so I'm not going super fast. And I'm grinding I could do it for an hour or I can do 30 minutes, but I'm moving. I never sit down. This is probably the longest I've sat down today. So I'm constantly moving. So I do an hour of cardio, and it can be anything from biking to elliptical machine or go for a run. So that's the cardio portion. And then I lift for another hour that day, and I might do some extra work. It could be like band work to like a rehab kind of thing, or save my shoulders, protect my shoulders, my joints, stretching. So just moving throughout the day. That's what it's like.
Is it better to lift heavy or lightweight for more reps to build muscle?
There are several different schools of thought on this. For me, I like to stay leaner. So I like to keep my body weight at a certain place. So I'm a lighter weight, higher rep guy, and I circuit everything. So keeping my heart rate up so that I'm burning a lot of calories. That's always my thing. Burn as many calories as I can while I'm building muscle. Because that is what I've discovered to be the secret to longevity and being lean for as long as you can. And that's part of my program is lifting at a higher heart rate. So you're burning more calories and you're building muscle at the same time.
If you weren't in fitness, what would you be doing today?
If I weren't in fitness, I would be acting. I would be writing my own material because I'm a control freak. I would write my own material, act and create my own. That's what I would be doing.
Then go, if listeners are listening to this podcast and you've shared so many gems, but if you wanted them to take just one thing away from this conversation, what would that one thing be?
Baby steps. No matter what it is you want to achieve in this life, take baby steps. That's what will guarantee that you will get there. Be patient and just take baby steps. Little baby steps lead to long strides. But what will guarantee that you won't get there is trying to leap when you're not ready to leap, and then you get overwhelmed, and then that process ends. But if you believe in the process, just take baby steps. One win, celebrate that win, pat yourself on the back. Take the next baby step, pat yourself on the back. Just keep going. That's how I've achieved everything I've achieved in my life. And a lot of people, a lot of successful people are the same way. Just keep taking baby steps and you're going to get to that goal. I guarantee it.
And go tell us where we can find you, where can listeners find you, where can they connect with you?
So if you want to reach me, there's so many ways to reach me. You can reach me on my website, ngookafor.com. You can reach me on Instagram at catchngo, CATCHNGO, or you can come to my gym. My gym is on Fifth Avenue between 25th and 26th Street. It's called Iconoclast Fitness at 210 Fifth Avenue. It's on the fifth floor, overlooks beautiful Madison Square Park. And I would love to talk to you. I would love to meet you. Let's connect and work together.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And you're not only highly accomplished in fitness and training and sports, but also the mindset that you carry not only helps you, but also millions of people across the country. So I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Mark. I truly appreciate you making space for me to come and share. And I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.